Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Thank you so much for joining us today. Joining me in the studio is Stephen Rue.
Hello.
Fran Mirabella.
Hey, Guardians.
And Sean Finnegan.
Chomp chomp.
Thank you guys for joining us. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the exotic armor changes. We're going to talk about the PTR-ish thing that Bungie released called Crucible Labs and the new mode that we got to experience, the faction rally delay, and we might mention some bad news about the Nightfall that's currently going on. Heads up, everybody, we are recording a little bit early this week, so we will not be addressing whatever faction rally changes that Bungie brings up, but we're recording an early episode next week because it's E3. We had to sort of shuffle things around a little bit, but we're all good to go now. So at the top of the show, everybody, exotic armor has been changed. Masterworks of exotics. A few of the items impacted were Lunafaction, Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves, the Dragon Shadow Line Rampant, Syntheseps, and Sunbracers. Go watch last week's episode to know all of the changes with those weapons and what we hypothesize. But this week, we've seen them in action, and as predicted, Lunafactions are ridiculous. They were probably the best item. We have a clip playing probably right now, watching Callus be melted. Pretty good, right?
Yep. And actually, for clarification, they buffed exotics, but Masterworks are still coming, right? They're not quite out yet?
The exotic armor is out. The exotic Masterworks for weapons are out. So when you wear Lunafactions right now, not only do they extend the range of your weapon, but they automatically reload your weapon. So people are melting raid bosses, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, that clip is insane.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when we used the reloader arms, what they were called, like just to go between two autos, and people were like, oh man, I'm using Sweet Business and my Uriels or whatever, and that felt good, but this is insane.
Yeah.
So Lunafaction boots, so before you had to step off of the Rift and come back on to reload. In fact, it was not intuitive in my opinion. I was like, what? It's not working.
Yeah.
They fixed it as, I think, as it was intended. Now you just stand there and melt. It's like a laser beam until you run out of ammo.
Yeah, that's how it should have worked. I'm glad they made this adjustment, and it is one of the more powerful exotics. And I'm glad they're kind of letting us break the sandbox. That's that power fantasy in Destiny, right?
Yeah.
I like it because it seems really overpowered when you watch the clip. But what I love is like it's still, you got to remember, like it's very contextual, right? Like how many times in Destiny can you just stand there and not move and shoot something?
Every raid boss.
It's pretty situational.
Yeah.
You have to have the Rift available as well. So,
But like this is just a great example like of a change where it feels really powerful in PvE, but like it could not work in PvP.
Oh, yeah.
you're not just going to stand there.
Yeah, like it feels balanced to me.
I'm sure there are, like with all the team shooting, like you could probably just stand there, Luna, and just
Stand
fire
there,
into
like,
a corridor.
Or people on like a rift.
That would
like
be
with
so
shield,
good.
like oh man.
If you have two warlocks, you just like corner off a spawn and just like keep them there the whole game.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it reloads everything though, right? You're heavy as well.
You're heavy too, so like
that's
people are unloading all their Darcy into a boss. The clip that we showed, they're using Suros and just unloading only primary on Callus and like getting them halfway on plate 1.
So it seems most effective with weapons like Suros that have like the spooling up effect, where like or Sweet Business, where the faster you fire, the longer you fire, the faster you fire, and like at max fire rate, you're not firing individual bullets anymore. It's just like a stream of nonstop fireball. It's amazing.
I'd imagine no, never mind. It's just, it's so crazy. I do like that about it, though. It is situational, though.
Yeah.
Like, you do have to have the Rift. It's when I saw it on Callus, it looked broken to me. But I can understand, again, like, you're only going to have so many Rifts.
It's so fantastic.
Yeah. And plus, let's face it, we're done. Like, Callus, we've already mastered.
And also, like,
no big
broken is good because broken isn't boring.
Yeah,
it's
it makes it
just
fun.
what it was before. So,
Well, it gives you a reason to go back and try it.
Yeah, totally.
You know, so
That's
one of the best.
I can see the LFG post now. Looking for one, must be Warlock, must have Lunafaction.
Exactly, right?
That'd be really cool. The other one that we kind of saw some talk about was Syntheseps on the Titan. Basically, if 3 players in PvP are near you, you can punch somebody once and they die.
Yeah.
I think just a few.
And then the next player, and then the next player.
Yeah, you get more melee damage when players are near you. In PvP, it's like 2 or 3. Not sure the exact number, but there's a clip with a guy meleeing the first person with the one melee, kills him, melees the second person, kills him, and then melees the third person. And then since he's a Sentinel Titan, he has an overshield throughout this whole thing. So he's basically a tank.
is
insane.
testing it out in private matches.
Yeah.
So there's your PvP play, Sean.
Yeah, because this is something where, like, I don't know, in PvE, you don't really want to get close to the bosses or the big guys,
Yeah.
like to melee them.
You're in
It's generally a bad strategy.
escalation protocol and
You're
wave
like
7, like,
punch-
I don't
Except
think
for
that's
melting
gonna work
point.
out
Melting point, often you hit them with that.
Yeah,
and
a
then
decimate
Then you
one.
back
but you're
off.
in and out. In
Yeah.
in D2. Yeah.
But melting point was definitely, like, people don't really use that.
They
No, people are
100%
using
use
it
it in
now.
Inspire Stars.
Yeah.
Do
Final
go
Boss.
back.
It's
Yeah.
pretty. Pretty big now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, but for PvP, yeah, it's cool. I wanted to quickly read the exacts of what it was. So the mechanical change on Syntheseps was previously the perk adjusted your melee damage depending on the number of enemies surrounding you. Now it grants a flat bonus to melee and super damage when you're surrounded by 3 or more enemies. The buff is retained for a short duration after you are no longer surrounded. So you do, like, once you get surrounded, you get this super and melee buff.
Yep.
Bungie was basically like, you guys are complaining about 3-hit melees. Well, here's 1 hit melee.
I like that.
I like it. I like it.
I like the idea of, Syntheseps now seems to be just like, come at me, and you wait, and then you're like,
Well, I can see. I can see.
In a practical situation, having tried them, they're not great.
What? They're
That's not-
awesome.
not-
In PvP,
Yeah. I can see LFG posts now looking for one for trials. Must be tied and must have synthesis.
base your whole like review of Destiny off of LFG now. I see.
I don't know. I think it's
Sure.
awesome. And you get the
it's
extra
cool.
melee distance.
It's cool. You're never going to end up in that situation, though. Maybe you'll get 1 kill
I
and
don't
then
know,
you'll
man.
get
Like,
melted.
it feels like you're always. It feels to me like I'm always getting shot by 2 people. Like when I'm fighting anyone in Destiny 2.
Try it out. Try it out.
I think it's more like when you probably drop into next to someone or you get the drop on them, it's probably good in that situation.
I tried it for a while, and I'm like, all right, these don't do enough. I'd rather my 2 grenades.
With any luck, it's the type of
Armamentarium.
it's the type of exotic that of course it doesn't work every second of the game, but when you get that moment, that hero moment, which we all love, you're like, oh my god, like the reaction that we saw.
Of course, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just
Like, we're not saying you think it's OP.
No. Having used it,
I think
don't
it's
really end
OP.
up in-
See, I was trying to get that out of him. You
I
it
think it's
looks
OP.
I don't think it's OP.
I play a Titan and I haven't tried it specifically yet, so we'll weigh in next
These
week. But
changes-
I want to know.
Yeah.
I
These
wanna
changes just went in,
Yeah.
and they had a little server downtime too, and so we're still going to be catching up this weekend.
The others were Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves, the Dragon Shadow, Lion Rampant, and Sun Bracers. With Lion Rampant, I know it's you can still hip fire while having the traversal, which is kind of nice. Dragon Shadow and Mechaneers. Mechaneers allows you to quickly swap to your sidearm, and you have the
Swapping to a sidearm while critically wounded greatly increases its damage.
Yeah.
So that is the idea, and that's what they talked about it as, is like that last resort feeling. That's
Yeah.
the intention of that. It's like, crap. So they claim that now it kind of has that feeling. I haven't, used it at all.
And you're there in your Warlock, but we're Sun Bracers.
Yeah, I was going to say this.
Did you try this?
No, I want to.
So-
Has anyone tried this?
Yeah, Brian Malkowitz,
Okay.
who mains a Warlock, a producer out there, and PvE super tryhard out there.
Yeah.
Wait, can I read what it is first?
Yes, go.
So original effect replaced on Sunbracers with increases the duration of solar grenades. Solar melee kills grant unlimited solar grenade energy for a brief time.
Yeah.
So this brief time, Brian Malkowitz sent me a video. He went and tested it out. He can get off 5 grenades spamming it.
Yeah.
That's about as far as it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
But you have a fully charged melee, I guess. So
you
boom.
melee and then
And then
you
you're like,
do. Yeah, like
That seems like it'd be really good for PvE. I don't, know for PvP necessarily. Maybe like chasing someone down close.
You got to get that melee kill first, right?
But
and then
solar
you just
grenades
start
aren't
spamming.
It also is not like you still have to throw each one, right? So there's
But you know
some
how,
delay.
like in PvE, I'm just trying to think of how it might work in PvP. Like, you know how when
You
you're
just
about to
nuke a
die,
section.
people just throw grenades, like in
Yeah.
order, like just so they might get a kill, right? Like I could imagine meleeing someone to get a kill and just hucking hella grenades everywhere.
But my feeling is it's probably a little slow in PvP. But I can, like, for PvE, this sounds cool to go up to an
for
enemy
sure.
when Solar Singe is active. First, take their shield or whatever with them, and then just like fry them.
Or just like, you find
PvE would be fun.
seems cool.
just find a thrall or something that's going to activate it instantly no matter
Yeah,
what.
or a
you hit.
wave of thralls.
Yeah, and then like
Yeah.
throw it at the boss and get a bunch of damage immediately. That'd
I
be
wish
really
it
cool.
was on stickies. They don't have them anymore, but not for warlocks, right? But maybe that's coming in the future.
So what about Dragon Shadow? What was that one, Frank?
I've been using Dragon Shadow a lot. I like it.
Yeah.
What does it do?
So there's 2 dodges on the Hunter. One has, it's like the twirl where it reloads all your
Marksmans and
weapons.
gamblers.
And then there's the
that
D1
reloads
dodge.
everything.
Yeah, so now you can use the D1 dodge, which I like better than the twirl. You get your melee back and your weapons reloaded, and after you dodge, you get like a crazy mobility boost. And I don't know if it's better than the Worm Husk Crown Helmet when you get your health back.
Yeah.
But I really like dodging and getting all my weapons reloaded.
Yeah.
I like both, but yeah, I like it a lot. It's cool.
Yeah, they say dodging reloads all weapons simultaneously. The effects of Wraith Metal Mail now also include a bonus to mobility. So before it was movement and some ability boost, but they've added I think they say it's a +5, was it? I think I read that
it's
somewhere.
awesome.
That
I
was
like
like a
it.
+5 or something.
And then
Do you guys think it's really interesting that so far all of these exotic armor changes seem to reflect the original philosophy of each of these classes?
They're trying to. Yeah, they describe Dragon
Titan
Shadow
melee
as.
oriented.
I believe that was the one they described more as the ninja. 'Cause that's the design.
Hunters
I-
are like
so it's-
agile, like agility based.
I did notice that. Yeah, I brought that up last week, and I'm kind of like, it's kind of cool that the first exotic pass was leaning into the archetypes, like you're saying, Sean. And I actually like that. I like
because
that.
it was always a big joke in
They're
Destiny
different.
1 where it was like I chose Titans because I wanted to be a big tank and like
Yeah.
the guy like you know how it had like a little description of the class and
Yeah.
for Titans it was like in close quarters a fist is better than any gun. I was like
Yeah.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And then you play the Titan, you have these little T-Rex arms.
Yeah.
You can't melee at all.
Yeah.
Because you're so like you have no range.
Incapacitated, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wraith Metal Mail, by the way, I double checked. It was handling on weapons in addition to that movement buff. So they've just buffed that a little more with reloading all weapons.
So to wrap up that segment quickly, do you think any of those are OP?
Well,
I think
okay.
Lunafaction seems for.
Syntheceps are OP in PvP.
No, I disagree. But anyway, go ahead.
We'll see what the comments say. But I like OP in PvE. I don't mind OP in PvE. Lunafaction boots are great. Sun bracers are great. Lion Rampant is cool. I haven't tried Lion Rampant, but
Yeah, it's just hip fire, right? So,
yeah. And I like the concept of the trick sleeves.
Yeah,
But
I don't.
I haven't tried it yet either.
Just to answer the question for me, I don't think anything's OP. I think it's all fun and all positive changes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anything's breaking the game or making it bad for players because you can sort of even the playing field with wearing your own Syntheceps, for example.
Yeah,
If you're a Titan.
Yeah, and
What
like
about you,
I was thinking about like, are there any? There are. What I'm thinking about are what are the best exotics already? Exotics. What I'd say, I play a
rig.
hunter a lot,
Yeah.
so there are already some good exotics. So what they were doing, as I understand, is looking at the ones that were useless. Frankly, maybe not totally useless, but
Yeah.
really making them work.
People use Luna.
I use Ride and Flux all the time. It's insanely fun on the Hunter to get extended Arc Strider and just, it's crazy. Like I'm always waiting for my Arc Strider to be done and I just like keep going across the map. It's insane. So I love that feeling. Crown, the Worm Husk Crown, the new one that they added, really solid. So I mean, I feel like they have some pretty good exotics.
That one's just
what,
good.
what are some good ones for Titan? You play
Titan's War Rig. That's basically all I wore. Now they
That's
have,
the reload.
yeah, now they have Armamentarium.
Armamentarium's pretty strong, but
Armamentarium is
Two grenades.
That's right. Double.
Alpha Loopy is pretty good
Alpha
too.
Loopy is what I use for PvP.
Yeah.
Or if I'm running Sentinel Titan, then I use Mask of the Quiet One.
Yeah, and Orpheus rigs are crazy. Yeah, like Hunter has some great ones already. But my only point I was going to make is it's nice to get some additional ones. Like Lunafaction, now I really want to try. I was actually reflecting on Warlock, and like
The Warlock chess piece that shows where players are, that one's pretty ridiculous.
All of them
radar?
are all of them
Yeah,
are
yeah.
pretty cool now. I like the direction they're heading with the exotic armors.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so moving on, we're going to talk about. You did that thing again where you sort of paused,
I?
and I
Oh,
don't know
sorry.
if you're going to make a point. I'm like,
Sorry,
I don't
sorry.
want to cut
Debated.
him off.
Awkward.
Anyway, Steven and I actually played a little bit of Crucible Labs. Crucible Labs is the new mode where Bungie's trying out new modes of gameplay, but they're not adjusting the sandbox. So let's start on that point. I am bummed that it's just a new mode and not new sandbox elements. What do you guys think? Steven, I really wish they would have added that.
Yeah, like the reason they can't add sandbox changes, I don't have the direct quote, but something about if they change sandbox changes just for Crucible Labs, they have to affect the entire game unless they do
It's
something.
all tied together is the problem.
Yeah, it's all tied together. A lot of people were hoping for sandbox changes. I was really hoping for sandbox changes. People aren't really people aren't critical about the modes really. It's just the sandbox.
Timeout. Flag on the play. Let's really talk about it. What I want to meaning I think we're easing into the discussion.
Yeah.
But isn't everybody super disappointed we're not going to test time to kill in here?
Yep.
That's what the problem
It's
is.
the sandbox.
I'm as happy as you guys are that there's something new to play around with modes because maybe they have this fun new mode they come up with, but there's only so much to tweak, and like time to kill was the one thing above all.
Well,
there's weaponry and stuff too, but like that, I just feel like that's what I was waiting for, and now I'm like,
All of that was correct until you said super fun new mode. We'll get into that.
well,
in a
I didn't say it
moment.
was.
In a moment.
Did I say it was super? I haven't even played it yet.
I think we talked about it extensively on the last episode or 2 weeks ago. But I think the reason everyone wanted a PTR like setting was because they wanted more constant adjustments to the sandbox and more experimentation within the sandbox because it felt flat a lot of times.
And that's what it is with other games. Like you mess around with the characters in Overwatch and their DPS values. And
we want
players get into it.
It affords the developer, it affords Bungie the opportunity to try interesting new things, and most of the time it won't work. But you go into it as a player knowing that's the case and being able to give that feedback. And as a result of going through this more iterative process, you get something that ends up being in the live version way better than anything anyone could have come up with on their own. But like it's not that, and that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, and what it is this week is we got a new mode called Showdown. It's basically 4v4, and you fight over up to 4 rounds to get the most points. Usually it ends up going 3 rounds.
2-minute rounds or something.
I don't know the exact timing,
number.
But it's been hard to queue into matches for us on PC. A lot of players drop the second you get into it. The second you get a point lead, players just bail. So it's a lot of the current problems with PvP amplified because of the state of the mode. Derek Carroll, sorry, Sean, 1 second. Derek Carroll did say, "Good morning, Guardians. Today we try something new in Crucible Labs. In the past, we've kept stuff secret until we thought it was just right. This effort is about bringing you in early and giving you a chance to let us know what you think before we ship it and what we think is
so
new
it's
mode."
round based, but it's just get the most points to win, which means like it's
Per
kind of
round.
just
Per round.
per round.
Yeah.
So
So
if
most
you guys-
points.
It's like round one. If I have 19 kills and your team has 11, my team wins.
So is it? But if it's 4 rounds,
You've got to win each. So there's 0-0, and then if you win a round, you go 1-0.
right.
By getting the most points in that round.
But there's 4 rounds. So
To get
you
to
have to
round
get to
4,
four
it would have to be win, loss, win. Then you do a sudden death. in
But
round
do you
so
have-
there could be a 5th round. Wait,
No.
what?
And Steven put up like 10 minutes of gameplay. You just watch it.
I put that up for him,
Or Destin did.
but thank you.
Whatever.
But it was my
Couldn't
gameplay.
tell.
It's his perspective.
Oh, man.
And we won, but that was like our 3rd or 4th game.
Yeah.
And it was not a pleasant experience. It was, I queued up solo, and I got queued up with a team, and the whole team dropped, or it was like me and a blueberry, and then Steven tried, same experience. And then we got together with Teddy, and we ran in, and we did okay.
You're saying it's a poor experience because right now it seems a little dodgy in terms of queuing up, matching
Yeah.
up, people dropping and stuff. But in terms of like how it plays,
Well,
like,
then-
let's say theoretically it was 4v4 and no one dropped.
The problem is once you have the
seem
point lead,
fun,
you just
or-
turtle.
Well, here's the thing to reply to Sean. The mode itself is just like, Like I was expecting, and this is the first week, so I'm sure we will get that, but I was expecting like Capture the Flag, King of the Hill, maybe
Rift.
Classic Trials, Rift,
That's what I was going to
Classic Elimination, and I wanted to change the TTK. Or maybe we could get something like sidearm only or stuff like that. I was expecting stuff
not
like
gonna-
that.
Something crazy. Do something
Yeah.
really crazy. Not here's 4v4.
Here's
All right.
Clash, except
Yeah,
it's divided into rounds now.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I think,
It's uninspired, I think. Would be
well,
the
part
word.
of it is they're working with the limited sandbox. So
Yeah.
it seems, if you read between the lines, it seems like this is the best they could do at the time they have.
Yeah,
is
I
what
mean,
I'm seeing.
give them constructive feedback. For now, like this mode, if you get a kill lead in a round, you can just turtle and camp and then win the round. So if they wanted to change trials to like this, I could see a team going up in kills in a round and then just hide. You know, it's
So it kind of has that survival
it's still
problem
campy.
where
It's still not. It's still meh.
Yeah, I wonder how much they can do here. Like, can they lock loadouts? Can they force us to use certain weapon types? Can you give the players, like, force them into blue weapons and, like, your weapons are just replaced with that? That seems like a little too much.
I want this to be, like, I think it would be really cool. I don't know how you would implement this, but, like, if any of you guys were Dota players out there, I always thought a mirror match mode would be really cool, where your team picks the other team's heroes.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And they pick yours. Like, imagine if you could force the other team to use all, like, terrible weapons, but they get to choose your weapons too. Like, it would be a total show, and it would be so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, now you're talking about a lot, like, of variables. That's a cool idea, though. I mean, it assumes you have, like, I guess the characters, maybe you don't need them. It's just
like, I don't know, like, how you would force someone to use a weapon.
But
if
it's
they
a cool
didn't
idea.
have it,
I think
but, like,
it hits on this idea of, like, can we do something crazy? Like, we've had these discussions over the years of playing Destiny, and we've always been like, what about an all nade launcher round? What about a all supers round? Which
Grenades
now
only.
we have mayhem,
melee only. Juggernaut.
But I think it's in that direction. I feel like what they launched with, wasn't striking enough. Like, in fact, it was so subtle in a way that you were like, wait, what is the... Okay. But it wasn't like Rift. That was the example I was going to use. It would have been cool that if we'd never seen Rift before and they gave us a peek that we're working with this thing called Rift. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Give us feedback. I think we would all be super excited about it right now, even without the sandbox changes. But the mode they launched with this week is just a little too, like, subtle.
And Rift was cool, man. Like, I liked Rift. Why haven't we brought that back?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on. I mean, there's not much else to say. We felt let down. We hope that they do more with the experience, and there's some ideas that we have for other PvP modes. But besides that, I mean, that's our take on Crucible Labs.
I am glad they're trying it, and it's, as we're saying very often, is the step in the right direction. Because meaning
that's struck in.
I knew you were going to say
vocabulary.
It. Not since I've been here. It's been a few weeks since I've been on the show. I get to say it, but, like, I like that they're getting a little more comfortable with the idea.
Yeah.
And I see they have constraints, but I think hopefully within here we do see a mode that becomes, like, who knows? Maybe we get a new mode out of this, but what we're all hoping for, and I'm looking at hopefully September or whenever now, the next version, can we please get a true PTR out there?
Yeah.
Also, like, just to underscore something Steven said over there, like, provide constructive feedback in this. Like, if you,
It's the first week.
if it sucks, you can say it sucks, but just don't leave it at that. Like, tell people,
why does it
Bungie,
suck?
why
How
does
can
it
it be
suck?
better?
How present a solution potentially.
And I think people have already. Because you can turtle, it's just not really entertaining. It just kind of becomes the same problem that survival has right now.
Yeah, and that's the
Oh, I have point lead, I'm going to go hide.
And I think that's the point of it. I don't think they expect it to be just right, as they say. It's like, look, give us feedback.
Yeah,
it's
I just
not meant
wanted
to be a, like, that's a 10.
I just wanted to underscore that fact, which is, like, too often, especially in a community that's a little salty about how things are in the state of the game. Like,
Ourselves included.
yeah, people are a little, like, they're just tempted to just, like, be like, this sucks, and then walk away. Like, well, help it not. The whole goal of this is to help it not
Precisely.
be that.
It's not supposed to be polished, and that is the point. Not yet, you know.
And that's what they're looking for. One thing that we did expect this week was faction rallies, and unfortunately, they were delayed. So faction rallies have been delayed. There's going to be an update about that probably by the time you watch this. We're going to be addressing it in the next episode, so be sure to tune in for that. But we do know that there are going to be quests tied to them, ornaments, and it looks like they're getting catalysts. One of the catalysts, Dead Orbit, is apparently getting Graviton Lance. This is via data mine stuff, so of course it's subject to change. New Monarchy is getting the Sweet Business Catalyst, and Future War Cult is getting the Sunshot Catalyst. So Dead Orbit's going to win week 1 is basically what I'm saying. The Graviton Lance
Wait, can you repeat those again? Dead Orbit's Graviton.
Dead Orbit's Graviton, according to the data mining. New Monarchy is Sweet Business, and Future War Cult is Sunshot. So Dead Orbit, the Graviton is plus 20 range, plus 15 aim assist, hit in hand, and better target acquisition for a weapon that's already OP. And fantastic. And then New Monarchy, Sweet Business. When this weapon is fully spun up, the flinch from incoming damage is greatly reduced. Little less exciting. Sunshot, plus 30 range, plus 20 stability. That would be probably the second tier weapon for me. And then
that sounds
tier.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a big range stat plus the
it's nice. Yeah, but come on, we're all gonna go for Graviton.
I've been wanting to love Sunshot.
Yeah.
I'll probably go for Graviton.
Yeah.
Hasn't New Monarchy won like 8 in a row? Or I don't know the number.
New Monarchy is one, but I think they're
Monarchy
trying to turn the tables. Deej was like, guys, you got to give the Graviton Lance catalyst to Dead Orbit because we are dying out here.
Yeah.
I was always Dead Orbit
Or
in
CJ.
Destiny 1, and I've basically, I like the shaders and everything like everyone else for New Monarchy, so I went with that.
Yep.
Fair weather fan.
Arak Jalal, is that his name or whatever?
Jalal.
It's too
Yeah.
emo.
Yeah, he actually has a fantastic story about how he like
It's a
helps
fantastic
people
haircut.
and gives them like food and stuff.
All
because
of them
they're
have
poor.
fantastic stories.
And then it's just not utilized fully in the Destiny 2 experience, which was a big bummer.
All this got delayed a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're gonna find out more about that this week.
But I do really like the idea of them tying things that are desirable to these faction rallies because, like Stev said off camera, like before they were just like it didn't matter which one you chose.
I did like that as you hit rank 30, you got a cool thing. It was like an exotic like sash on the Titan.
In Destiny 1.
Yeah, in Destiny 1,
Yeah.
you would get one cool exotic piece of armor for hitting a certain rank. And I hope they bring that back. I hope they bring back the levels to each, kind of like they did with Iron Banner.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're going to see is the Iron Banner layout.
Yeah.
You have all your ranks and how long is it going to take you to get there, you know, and how is it all lost sectors again or whatever.
I think that's going to be cool. And how they choose to expand the roles of the characters beyond that would be great.
Yeah, like what's not in here yet, I don't think, is like weaponry. I'm more curious about that. Like, are we going to earn like a new rank of weaponry? That's like everybody's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with that is just because of the flatline aspects of all the weapons right now, it's still, for me, I guess not for everybody. I know people are chasing DFA or whatever, but I'm like, I have a hand cannon that's close enough to it.
But there's a few, like main ingredient is I mean, it doesn't come from an exclusive survival thing. But if you get that type of effect, I think there's a little room for that as well.
Yeah, like remember for a long time, the best PvE weapon in the game in Destiny 1 was Hung Jury, which was a dead orbit weapon. Like,
that was
if we
Destiny
could
1,
get some... Oh, well, yeah, like I said, Destiny 1. But like, if we could get something like that in Destiny 2, that would be another big reason to kind of care about faction rallies.
But I don't think we can, because the reason the Hung Jury was great was because it had a god roll. So I think that's like a September thing we're going to get when they start bringing back a little bit more randomization.
I mean, I'm not even asking for god roll weapons, but just a good weapon.
Yeah. No, I know what he's saying. Like, it is harder to do a god roll with the way stats work out these days. That's why we have these crazy exotic and catalysts, which do make a difference. But catalyst on tractor cannon, I still can't get over, man. 7 in the mag for tractor cannon. It is so much fun.
It's really
Destin. You called it, man.
I think I started the trend.
Not just for PvP, but like it is the funnest PvE weapon I've used in so long. Like, it's so often I show up and slide into a night, you know, like, and they just like go flying. It's so much fun.
It's such silly fun. It's great. I love that weapon.
So the catalyst, my point was that there are some really fun ones. I don't know if we can get weapons to feel, you know, quite like that in legendary mode, but
it's been really cool seeing the community discover the weapons, like the increased charge rate for Sleeper Simulant. That's a desirable one. And Reddit has this big thread right now about how to get all the catalysts, and some of them aren't discovered.
Wait, is
I really like that.
Sleeper going to have a decreased charge is the idea?
Correct.
We don't know where the ornament, the catalyst comes from yet.
I believe that one's been discovered by somebody.
Oh,
It involves raid kills.
Oh, okay.
Might
no
have been
spoilers.
data mined.
Data mine?
It is from a data mine, so I don't think it's confirmed yet. People are
Because
speculating.
they just released the Mida catalyst.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah.
I was
That's PvP kills, right? With Mida.
Yeah, and you get like Outlaw, I think, which is crazy because it's already fast.
What?
Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
What does it do? It's like
Just,
like,
yeah.
They've done a
just
great
like-
job with the weapons, I think. And there's
yeah, for
interesting aspects about each of the catalysts.
But anyway, drawing it back to faction rallies, I think it needs a little something to talk about. I'm just, in other words, I hope it's not all about Graviton Lance, and instead of doing a quest in just every day, we put it in a faction rally, which is only available because there's a little risk there, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you miss it, would we wait 30 days before I get Graviton Lance?
Yeah,
like
month.
that's asking a lot, actually. So I hope, you know, they come back frequently enough, and there's other stuff.
Don't miss it, friend. You got to call me up, have me sign on your account, price appropriately.
Right,
you
exactly.
Know, buy a few of the emblems. Just kidding.
Polaris Lance, week 4 is up, by the way. Good reminder, Polaris
right.
Lance. You can get the exotic as part of the step. I won't spoil.
And that's
if
not
you're
the final
chasing it.
step.
No, there's one more week. People think it's the catalyst, and we don't know what it does. But
It becomes Black Hammer.
actually, people might. I take that back. People have data mined that one as well, I think. And I was telling them, please don't tell me. Just for
really?
once, I want to I'm gonna get it
surprised.
next week anyway. Hopefully.
What does it do right now?
So the
Crit
exotic
chance, right?
perk is you lay down 4 precision hits, and it's called a perfect 5th. And on the 5th shot, it shoots this like fast, sticky, explosive shot, like almost a dragonfly effect. But it basically just sticks this solar thing to the side of their head. And my general review is the right idea, but like it's an energy weapon. And too often you're trying to break shields, and so you can't get crits and precision shots. So like most of the time you're just not really using it. Or if you like headshot a thrall, they're dead anyway. And
Yeah.
like it makes it very hard to get the perfect fifth. So it's good on bosses and stuff that are just like,
Yeah.
it's cool in those moments. But
It doesn't reload? It doesn't have a reload effect? I thought it did.
I think it puts some
There
back in the
is.
mag as
Yeah,
well.
there
Yes,
is.
it puts some back in the mag as well. But my point is, you need a big, heavy boss
Yeah.
that is not moving too much to really feel it. But it's too few in between.
But that's why people love Black Hammer, right? Because you could just crit on the legs.
It is, and it's good for that.
Bosses.
So to be fair, I got to use it more. But I kind of have this feeling that when I'm using it in strikes and stuff, I'm like, I could go without it until the end, and I think they need to fix that part of it. Maybe the catalyst does something there. I don't know.
Yeah, and one note for you, Fran. I know you like doing the Nightfall strike grinding. And for everybody listening, Bungie did tweet out, we have
Brace
confirmed
yourselves.
that Nightfall exclusive rewards are not currently dropping for Destiny 2 base and Curse of Osiris strikes. We are actively investigating. So that, if you've been grinding it out, sorry, you're not going to get any of those drops right now.
Do we know if it was dropping at all, like on the first day or?
No, since reset, it seems to.
That's
So I saw
People are very mad.
50 runs.
I saw a thread though, which presented an interesting point. Like, I do think this sucks, but like,
It really sucks.
people pointed out that the fact that it took this long for people to realize that kind of shows that they weren't desirable in the first place. But like, it would really.
Whoa,
be a-
I
wait,
think that occurred this week, Sean.
no,
That's
figuring out
No,
it did though, right?
but here's the problem, Sean. You clearly have not ground out.
No, I haven't.
So here's the deal: is
Yeah.
some people are getting drops within like 5-10 plays. So some people have to go like 50, 60 rounds times 15 minutes of loaded. It takes like 10, 15 hours for some people. So meaning there's a lot of people who just thought it was bad luck, I think.
Yep.
Meaning, to be fair, it's set to be rare, like
Yeah.
really rare drop. So I don't know that you would have noticed for more than, it would take like a good 24 hours before people really.
So it was reset. Some people did it for 16 hours, then they started reporting.
and everybody starts talking, I think.
And like if you click on this tweet and actually look at the responses, they're like, "Are you kidding me?"
I'm looking at it now.
This is
It's pretty rough.
this is the second week this Nightfall has been in the rotation. The first time it was here, the DFA was dropping. Like Fran has one, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was a bummer because I did the Nightfall this week. And if you turn on Void Burn and you use like Nova and Tracker Cannon,
you
you
nuke
can
him.
literally just nuke the boss. And I was like, oh man, this is awesome. I'm going to grind for it. And then I saw the tweet and I was just like, oh, good thing I didn't grind for it.
Yeah, right. But people did, and they are upset.
Yeah, that
rightfully
sucks.
so. If you spent that much time, so I'm just kind of giving everybody a warning.
It's a heads
Hey,
up.
This is a
Yeah.
thing from us, from Bungie, and Bungie is working on it.
Maybe it's fixed by the time the show goes live.
Oh, I hope so.
yeah.
yeah, that is a rough one. 'Cause
Check.
I was going to grind for it too. I'm glad had a busy week.
Yeah, remember on Twitter, it's at Bungie Help. I have a feeling the main Bungie account would talk about it too, but just keep a close eye on those accounts.
Yeah. So that's it for this week. We actually had a little bit of a shorter episode. We're going to be addressing those faction rally changes that are coming out this evening for the show. This show will be releasing on Friday, and then we'll have an early episode next week because we're going into E3. Rumor has it we might see some Destiny stuff at E3.
Yeah.
I don't know.
is that the
Maybe
rumor?
Bungie will
Yeah, I
be
wonder.
there. Maybe they won't. Who knows? Anyway, yeah. So expect a Fireteam chat episode either shortly after E3 or during E3.
Yep. Yeah, my guess is the first we'll probably see of it is the PlayStation conference, but we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. All right. That's it for this week, everybody. Until next time, Guardians out. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to do that, or check out all of our other episodes right here.